Oscar, such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Look fabulous. Nice. So I've heard this described as Fight Club meets Indiana Jones. Do you think that's a fair description?
I mean, that's pretty spot on. It's pretty great. But not only that, but it also, has these even more horror elements to it as well, with like the mystical sides of it too. So yeah, I think it's a really unique show.
And there's so many aspects to your character. What was the appeal for you, and how did you prepare to play these multidimensional people?
For me, it was all about figuring out Stephen. Like Stephen Grant, when he emerged from my thoughts and my dreams, and there was this really beautiful, indelible English guy who worked in this shop. I fell for him, and I kind of fell in love with him. And then from there, mapping out his struggle with figuring out who he is and what's happening in his life, I felt like that was just like so emotionally interesting.
And what about working with Ethan Hawke, and in a role that we've maybe not seen him in before?
Well, he was my man. He was my right hand man. He lived around the corner from me in Brooklyn, and so I really made a play to get him to come. And I just to have him there, invested in every element of the story with me. He's a writer, he's a director, he's just a creative animal, and I loved working with him. Well, that's a real testament to Kevin Feige and Grant Curtis, our producer, that they believed in the creative process and they weren't operating out of fear. Like they were really trusting that what everyone was trying to do was only just to make it better. How can we make it the best it can be? Him to come, and I just to have him there, invested in every element of the story with me. He's a writer, he's a director, he's just a creative animal, and I loved working with him. Well, it involved, it ended up happening kind of on the end. I didn't start off as a producer on it. I was just an actor, but because I was invited in to the creative process, from talking to the costumes, to the music, to the casting, to all of it, it just kind of naturally evolved that I just was really creatively invested, and so they offered me the executive producer role.
Thank you so much.
I mean, particularly in the British Museum to show Moon Knight, it's so appropriate. It's fantastic. I can't believe we're here already. We did not. We shot the vast majority of the movie the series was shot in Budapest, with a couple weeks that we shot in Jordan. But the second unit did come out and get some exteriors. But unfortunately, we didn't get to this shoot here. Yes, well, I play Stephen Grant, a mild-mannered gift shop employee who slowly finds out that he's suffering from dissociative identity disorder, and he realizes that he's sharing his body with an alter named Mark Spector, who is an ex-mercenary in the service of an Egyptian god, and from there, the mystery unfolds. Well, I just thought that there was an opportunity to do something really different on this massive stage that is Marvel. And after my conversations with Kevin Feige, I just found him to be so excited to collaborate creatively and allow us to really shape this whole series in a way that we found it really emotionally engaging. So I just think that there's so many layers to it. I'm really excited to share it with everyone. Well, I think that there hasn't been, at least not, I would say not since that first Iron Man movie, where you really focus on creating a character that's all from his point of view. It's a real character study. And the whole story really is about the internal struggle that he's having with himself. And that's just a very different thing for the MCU. It also has elements of horror and psychological thriller, as well as adventure.